Module 7. Personality and Social Psychology. Personality. When we talk about personality, we are delving into a rich and complex field that attempts to understand what makes each of us unique. The development of personality is an intricate process influenced by our biology, our environment, our experiences, and the various interactions we have throughout our lives. One of the first theories of personality development comes from Sigmund Freud, who suggested that our personalities are formed through a series of stages that focus on different pleasure areas of the body. During each stage, we can develop fixations that can influence our adult personality. For Freud, our personalities are largely shaped by unconscious forces, including repressed memories and desires. Freudian psychology posits that when we face anxiety, we deploy various defense mechanisms like repression, denial, or projection to manage these uncomfortable feelings. These mechanisms are unconscious processes that protect us from feeling directly the anxiety related to forbidden desires or painful memories. On the other side of the spectrum, we have Abraham Maslow, who introduced the concept of the self-actualizing person. According to Maslow, we have a hierarchy of needs that ranges from basic physiological needs to the need for self-actualization, which is the fulfillment of one's potential. Maslow believed that to reach this level, one must have satisfied the more basic needs like safety, love, and esteem. Trait theory, another significant perspective in personality psychology, suggests that our personalities are composed of a set of traits, which are consistent patterns of thoughts, feelings, or behaviors that vary between individua. These traits are relatively stable over time and across different situat. But how do these traits interact with the situations we find ourselves in? This is where the person-situation controversy comes into play. It's a debate that questions whether our behavior is more influenced by our consistent personality traits or by the situations we are in. The consensus today leans towards an interactionist perspective, acknowledging that both traits and environmental contexts play crucial roles in shaping our behavior. Humanistic psychology offers a more optimistic view of personality. Pioneers like Carl Rogers emphasize the importance of self-concept and the conditions of worth that we adopt based on societal and familial expectations. In humanistic therapy, anxiety might be seen as a dissonance between one's self-concept and their experiences. The therapist works towards providing an environment of unconditional positive regard, where individuals can explore their feelings without fear of judgment, thus aligning their self-concept with their true self. The social cognitive perspective, pioneered by Albert Bandura, integrates the importance of cognitive processes and reciprocal determinism. The idea that our behavior, cognitive processes, and situational context all influence each other. According to this theory, our personality is shaped by the interaction of our thoughts, our environment, and our behaviors. When comparing these major personality theories, we see a variety of perspectives on what influences personality most. From Freud's focus on unconscious desires and childhood experiences, to Maslow's hierarchy of needs and the self-actualization process, each theory offers unique insights. The trait theory focuses on measurable and observable personality dimensions, while the humanistic approach emphasizes the subjective experience and growth potential of the individual. The person-situation controversy reminds us of the dynamic interaction between our stable traits and the changing situations. If a student were to analyze the different approaches to understanding and treating anxiety, they would need to recognize that Freudian psychologists would likely explore unconscious conflicts and past traumas, using techniques such as free association or dream analysis. Humanistic psychologists, however, would focus on the discrepancy between the real and ideal selves, employing therapy techniques that foster self-awareness and self-acceptance. So, when we look at the question about the person-situation controversy, we can conclude that the debate involves the influence of environments and traits on behavior. As for the assessment of anxiety, we see that Freudian and humanistic psychologists would approach it from different angles, with Freudians looking into unconscious processes and humanists focusing on self-concept and the growth potential of the individual. Understanding these theories gives us a broader lens through which we can understand the tapestry of the human personality and the various factors that make us who we are. Social psychology. Social psychology is a branch of psychology that deals with the interactions between individuals and the social environment. It seeks to understand how thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are influenced by the actual, imagined, or implied presence of others. Within this field, several phenomena and theories help explain the intricacies of social interactions. One of the core concepts in social psychology is the fundamental attribution error, which refers to our tendency to overemphasize personal characteristics and ignore situational factors when judging others' behavior. For example, if a student is late to class, we might think of them as disorganized or lazy, rather than considering that they might have been delayed by a situation beyond their control. Like a transportation strike. Conformity is another significant concept, which highlights how we change our behavior to fit in with a group. This isn't always due to direct pressure. Sometimes it's just a response to social norms or perceived expectations. A classic example is Ash's conformity experiments, where participants went along with a group's incorrect answer to an obvious question, just to fit in. When we think about social relations, several subtopics come to mind, including de-individuation, prejudice, discrimination, stereotype, and belief perseverance. De-individuation refers to a loss of self-awareness in groups, which can lead to behavior that is uncharacteristic of the individual. Picture a crowd at a football game where fans get swept up in the collective excitement and may end up doing things they wouldn't ordinarily do, like chanting insults. Prejudice is an unfounded attitude towards a person based on their group membership. Discrimination is the subsequent action based on that prejudice. Stereotypes are generalized beliefs about a group, which can be positive or negative but often lead to oversimplifications. For instance, believing that all teenagers are rebellious can be a stereotype that doesn't account for individual differences. Belief perseverance is our tendency to stick to our initial beliefs even after they have been discredited. Imagine someone who believes in a specific health fad, despite numerous scientific studies debunking its purported benefits. This person might continue to follow the fad, disregarding new information. Finally, the norms for helping include theories such as social exchange theory and the social responsibility norm. The social exchange theory posits that our social behavior is an exchange process aimed to maximize benefits and minimize costs. An illustration of this could be when a person donates to charity in a public setting to gain social approval, rather than out of altruism. The social responsibility norm suggests that we should help others with no expectation of reward, because it's the right thing to do. This is evident when someone stops to help a stranger change a flat tire on a deserted road. Understanding these concepts equips students with the tools to analyze social phenomena critically. Social psychology helps us to see beyond our biases, understand the dynamics of group behavior, and the reasons we help or don't help others. This knowledge not only enriches our academic understanding, but also enhances our day-to-day social interactions and self-awareness.